teams in the conference when they've been highly ranked. So this is it's a very tough court to come in and win on.
Stager and Osborne with the tip. Florida State controls, and we're underway in Tallahassee.
Western Carolina plays a little bit of a variation of that pack line defense, something that Tony Bennett has brought into the ACC with Virginia.
And a good start for the Noles. Forrest buries the 3 ball.
We needed it too. Florida 1 of 7 from 3, so to get that initial shot gives him a little bit of boost of confidence.
Dotson on the drive. Takes an extra step. Missed off the board. And Florida State runs in transition. Something Leonard Hamilton said they wanted more improvement on after that game against the Gators.
Well, I'll tell you what, kid. I think both teams are going to really fall into going up and down. I mean, Mark Prosser, they really want to push the pace as well.
Another 3 ball. This one a little short over the top, and the Catamounts will take over.
You look at Western Carolina, half of the field goal attempts so far this year are from behind the arc. And I think in this game, they're probably going to have to shoot mid to high 40s and take 30 attempts to be in this game.
That's what they did last time out against Gardner-Webb. They scored 90 points. Against North Carolina A&T. Scored 90 points as they turn it over, which has been a problem. One of your 4 keys tonight, Mike.
Well, and that's what it is for Western Carolina. You got to make threes in this game, and taking care of the basketball. And for Florida State, they want to create turnovers. They want to get out in the open court and get easy points.
Gray with a drive in the left hand. Nice drive. Raquan Gray's first 2 points is averaging 7 in the early going for the Noles, and they've scored the first 5 points.
Yeah, he's looked like he's trimmed down a bit from last year. Pretty heavy, and he looks to be 15 to 20 pounds lighter, which he needed to do.
Walker picks up the first foul of the game, his first. And Catamounts will take over. 18:30 to play in the early going here in Tallahassee. Seminoles did a great job last time out against Florida. 14 field goals was all the Gators could muster among their 51 points. Seminoles beat them 63-51. Big upset, some thought, down in Gainesville.
Top 10 team, and and Trent Forrest in his career has never lost to Florida.
Well, for a Georgia fan like me, that's music to one's ears. 5-0 Florida State as Faulkner handles up top. Stager, left-hand dribble. Nice drive to baseline, rejected. Seminoles defense rising early. Again in transition. Baseline drive, lost the handle, and Stager was there, pushed him out of the baseline. And that'll be his first.
Right, Chip, the thing is that, for the Catamounts, most of their offense comes from their first slide. And they can't afford to get into foul trouble, but that's going to be tough. Florida State knows that. But look at that. There are 3 bodies up in the air, and just one thing that's been consistent with Leonard Hamilton is every position length.
Yeah.
And wingspan, and they just play so much taller and wider than they are. I mean, you think a passing lane is open and it closes up in a split second.
Well, we talked to Leonard Hamilton. We talked with his staff. We talked to these players this week, and one very consistent theme: defense. Defense first for the Seminoles.
If you don't defend, you don't get on the court with Leonard, and that's the thing. And they've had 30 practices before the season started. They've had their full complement of players for Florida. Amazing. So that's why there's still a little bit of a work in progress right now.
Nice pass, and Dotson couldn't get the roll. Offensive rebound. Stager with the hoop in the arm. He'll lay it in, and the Catamounts are on the board. A chance for a 3-point play.
It's kind of a smaller team. I mean, normally Leonard Hamilton has at least one 7-footer out there, but nice offensive board work by Stager. And think about Dotson. I mean, he's kind of got like a old man's game. Plays below the rim, but still, he's got to finish shots like that as this game goes along. But he can get the front line of Florida State in power play.
The champion against Pitt in the ACC opener for the Seminoles. Ball on the floor. Stager's got it. Gray, one man to beat. And a rejection again. That's a couple of blocks for the Seminoles. Great work to get back now in transition for us left wing. He'll take it to the hoop. That roller won't go.
was an opportunity missed. That was a terrific transition defense by Gray. Watch this. I mean, Stager looks like he feels like he's got something right there, and a terrific run back. I don't think that's a play he makes last year at his weight.
That's Matt Halverson out. Dotson up top. Faulkner thinking 3-ball. He'll penetrate. Nice dish. Pump fake Stager. Good look. Good rotation. Didn't go.
I love a little sidestep on the evasion on the pump fake, but those are the 3-pointers they've got to knock down.
Forrest thought 3. May have taken an extra step. Dotson got the rebound though on a trip. Faulkner lost it. Seminoles had it. It was sloppy in the early going, and Florida State takes advantage. Malik Osborne cleans it up. And it's a 7-2 Seminole lead.
Leonard Hamilton might have been holding his breath on that shot. That was 1-on-4. He rose up. There was no board coverage there.
We talked about Western Carolina having to knock down shots. They're 1 for their first 6 from the floor. They've had a couple run out. Not that time, though.
And the other thing, too, is that they're getting run off the 3-point line. They've only taken 1 3 so far.
There's Cameron Gibson, his first bucket. Averaging 11 points a game. So 9-4 early going. Pump fake and a push. Dotson with a hand to the back. Osborne draws the foul, and we are going to take a break.
With Dave Odom started there. But when I started covering the league in 2002, he was the one I kind of bonded with. Really, a great sense of humor, and Mark, the assistant coach for Pat Kelsey, who was on staff at Wake Forest. Chris Mack now in the league as well at Louisville, and also with Mike Young. He was now the newest head coach in the league with Virginia Tech.
Changes to Florida State. Nathan Evans checks into the game. And that's Patrick Williams. He hits a long-range jumper. And we talked with Leonard Hamilton. He doesn't really have a sense yet of what his team is or isn't. He said he's going to play 10, 12 guys tonight.
Yeah, it's sort of like hockey shit. Guys coming over the wall 3 or 4 at a time.
Yeah, change on the fly. That's Florida State up to an 11-4 lead. Now for the Catamounts, depending on the status of the game, Bob Foster said he's going to play 8-9 guys in a turnover. It's Harris with a travel, and that's the 3rd turnover for the Catamounts. Can't do that on the road against this athletic Florida State defense.
Well, at least it was a dead ball turnover.
Yeah.
So you have a chance to get back and set up defensively. The ones that kill you against Florida State are the ones out above the free throw line going the other way.
Anthony Polite and Williams up top. Now Williams with a dribble drive. He lost the handle and turns it over. Florida State's coughed it up on the baseline a couple of times in the early going.
You look we talk about that pack line defense, and it's being connected to guys sort of around you and talking about guarding your yard 3 feet on either side of you. It could help that time. A great reach in.
Gets across the timeline at 14:44 to play in the opening period.
Hasn't even taken a shot yet in this game, and he's got to get going. But they're locked in on him.
Nice feed and the foul. Xavier Cork gets hammered, and he'll have a chance to go to the line. I was saying about Faulkner, you get a triple-double, you're going to be the focus of an opposing team's defense next time out.
A couple of weeks at that time, he didn't really. You got to stay a little tighter on that screen roll. But for Faulkner, you got to think that Leonard Hamilton and his staff they're really locked in on him. They want to try to take him out of the game, make other people beat you.
Cameron Gibson's out. Matt Halverson back in for the Catamounts. Xavier Cork gets a second shot at the line here. 11-4 Florida State. Trickles home. And Dotson's going to come back in. Cork will head back to the bench. So the Catamounts 1 out of 3 from the free throw line to start the game. They trail by 6. Good luck. Chance to run it up the floor. Williams, number 0 for Florida State. Always really glad to have him back as an air ball is fired away. There's that first three-point chance. First shot by Faulkner, missed badly.
Yeah, and he's, he tapped himself on the chest. I think he's just trying to hunt his shot, try to get involved in the offense. But that was terrific defense. Man-to-man defense.
Right up top. Looks to feed the post. Kaprivica couldn't hang on. Transition shot. To McRae. And goaltending. So McRae will get the bucket.
So this is a team you have to pay attention to. They want to run the floor, and easy call right there on the goaltending. But even on the road, Catamounts not afraid to get out and run.
What a great, exciting player as a freshman. Part of what Mark Foster's trying to build at Western Carolina. Returns 10 players from last year's 7-25 team. And Halverson draws the turnover.
The Weasel foul that time.
So, second foul for Kaprivica. And foul trouble was a problem for Florida State in their first game at Pitt.
Especially the big, inside. I think that, Leonard is quasi okay with that. I mean, not happy with getting in, especially, getting into the penalty or getting into the bonus early. But he's got some depth there, and he's got some guys who are getting healthy.
So Dominic Olejniczak is in for the Seminoles, big number 15, under the Polish national team. Talking about him at length as the game goes on. Halverson long three. Good arc, wins it out.
That wasn't the hardest star to watch.
Excellent point, which we'll discuss at halftime. Faulkner steps back, lets a rip and buries it with contact. Well, that was impressive.
They've moved the three-point line back to the international line, and I don't think it's going to affect anybody at all because you look at these young men over the last few years, many of them were 3 or 4 feet behind the old line anyway.
Right with the left hand, that runs out. Catamounts down a point, chance to take the lead here. Faulkner behind the back dribble, gets some space, pump fake, and draws the foul.
He had Wilkes backpedaling right from half court, and he's got a great body on him, pretty strong, and just used it. It's like a James Harden step back, knocked it down,
and then got knocked down, and then came right back with contact inside on chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, his eyes lit up when he saw a big guy on him, and he knew he could take him off the dribble.
So Western Carolina has its first lead. It's now a 2-point lead as all of a sudden Faulkner, coming off that triple-double, has scored the last 6 points. A 9-0 Western Carolina run. 13-11 game. 12.5 minutes. Another turnover. Ball on the floor. Still a fight. Florida State calls timeout. Patrick Williams was on the floor, held on to the loose ball, got the timeout call, and we are going to... So the reason for that big Western Carolina run, much improved shooting. They made 4 of their last 6 shots. Faulkner scored their last 6 points. And Florida State will inbound with 14 on the shot clock. And a hold on Cameron Gibson. His first personal foul, 13th foul here in the first half. So a reset on the shot clock. 20 seconds. Trent Forrest handles up top. Faulkner guards in. Creates space. Nice move.
He's going to like Faulkner, he's going to start to look for a shot. He only had 3 points up to this point. They need him to score more.
That ties the game, 13 apiece, 8 minutes into the first half. Gibson wins it out. The Catamounts have an unfriendly iron here in the first half. 5 out of 13 from the floor. The Seminoles, 50%, 5 out of 10.
Nice defensive transition that time by the Catamounts, closing that breakdown.
Light on the baseline. Wilkes, long, arcing three, and a whistle. We got a double foul. Olenichuk picks one up for Florida State. And Xavier Cork picks up one for.
Well, they were both. I think Olenichuk got away with it. It was unfortunate to be a double foul. I mean, he had him in a chokehold inside. That looked to be the first foul. At least from that camera angle.
So Osborne's going to check back in. Raekwon Evans is going to check back in. We'll mention Evans back for the Seminoles, tore his hamstring. And talked with Leonard Hamilton before the game. They're really happy to have him back because we played the first two games without a backup point guard. They're happy to have Evans back in the fold. He's looking for his first bucket time. Brandon Vassell, sophomore out of Sewanee, Georgia. Another foul. Excuse me, a travel. Another turnover. Florida State's coughed it up a bit here in the first half. That'll be
fifth turnover. Fifth, yeah. Nice job defensively by Western Carolina, especially in the half court. Really, Florida State hasn't had many runouts.
Gibson, wide open look for three, and he buries it. So, Mike, one of your keys tonight, Western Carolina's got to shoot the three and make the three. They're starting to do that here in the middle minutes of this first half.
2 of 5. And one thing that they want, that Western Carolina wants the Florida State to fall in love with that three-point shot. They are not a good perimeter shooting team.
Ray with an offensive foul.
I'll tell you what, the Catamounts settling in here. I mean, they weathered a little bit of an early punch. Wasn't a big KO punch, but they've done a nice job defensively, causing some turnovers.
Florida State 6 turnovers, averaging almost 12 turnovers a game. We're not quite halfway through the first half, so that'll be a point of contention for Leonard Hamilton and his staff. 15 on the shot clock now for Catamounts, who enjoy a 3-point lead. 8 to shoot. Drive, left hand. Beautifully done. Faulkner has 8.
They were playing him to come off that right-hand side, and he just crossed him over and went in. There was nobody to help.
Backdoor cut. Ball won't drop. Vassell couldn't finish with a reverse. 5-point lead for the Catamounts. You see the confidence of the Western Carolina club.
Talked about that before. Somebody to come into the building and feel confident. And that's what I said. Wow, look at that shot.
Wow. Gibson has 8. Back-to-back threes for him. Florida State 1 for their last 6 from the floor, and this crowd quiet now with an 8-point Western Carolina lead. 8 straight points for them.
Leonard Hamilton, next he'll make another 3. He may be forced to take a timeout, but he's trying to get to that 8.
Morris double, gets to the free throw line. That won't roll. And a foul on the floor. This one will go against Cork, Western Carolina. Xavier Cork. The second foul on Cork. 15 foul. Jay Walker will check in. Polite will have a seat. Walker looking for his first points.
Walker has really struggled. We're looking for some consistency from him this year, and he was 14 in the first 3 games.
Turns it loose. This one won't go.
And it's so tough when you're struggling to try to shoot a 3 and get your rhythm is really hard. You get something easy, go to the rim, see the ball go through the hoop. Nice easy shot, but to try to shoot your way out of it from long range is tough.
Seminoles led this game 11-4. They've been outscored 17-2 since. They trail by 8 as we approach the 9-minute mark here in Tallahassee. Vassell, nice move, and it won't go. Prosser can't believe it. Personal foul will be on McCray, it looks like, with a reach-in. So Trayvon McCray picks up the personal, his first.
Neither one of these teams, I mean, Western Carolina has 1 assist. Florida State has 1 assist. A lot of dribble individual guys looking for their own shots.
There are Vassell's numbers in the early going for the Seminoles. And we'll enjoy a quick word from Advanced Auto Parts.
I can sign 12 autographs in 6 seconds. So reminding you to check your battery this fast? Easy.
Vassell coming off back-to-back 10-point games. I should say double-digit games for Florida State. That breaks the run for Western Carolina, his first point. And it's a 21-14 score.
And with the after the free throw, I was wondering when Leonard Hamlin might amp up the pressure a little bit to take some time off the clock.
Gray handles up top. Nice cross-court pass, wide open look. It rims out. Tough break.
I'll tell you what, I mean, they've had some misses, but Mark Prosser has to be happy with the looks that they're getting.
They're getting real good looks. Maybe had 3 or 4 rim out. Florida State's gone over 3 minutes without a field goal. And they'll be rewarded with some crashing of the boards here at the 8:36 mark.
Dotson picks up the foul.
That's his second personal foul. He's their leading rebounder. He's averaging over 15 points a game. Mike hasn't scored yet.
Yeah, and that's, and the thing is, Chip, that they're picking up fouls on the defensive glass, and you just wonder over the course of 40 minutes if Florida State's size is going to wear them down a little bit if they continue to crash the boards.
Osborne will go to the line. Rebound of Madison, Illinois. Transfer from Rice. Didn't play last year with the Twin Towers and missed the free throw. His first attempt rims out. Still a 7-point game, 8.5 to play.
Possession was 7 through 10 was 1-1. Gotta knock that first one down.
Alderson in traffic. Got it to go. He buries the 3. So here are the Catamounts. They love to shoot it. They love to hit the 3. They had 15 free balls in their last game. They've got 4 so far in the first half tonight.
4 of their 9 made field goals are from behind the arc.
Florida State can't answer. Alderson with a long rebound. Everything going Western Carolina's way. They're hitting 3s. Florida State's turning it over.
Florida State is under 30% from 3 in the first 2 games.
Another good look. Alderson perfect. He's hit the last 2. And Leonard Hamilton's going to call timeout. He's looking at his squad in disbelief as Western Carolina has nearly doubled up Florida State in their home opener here in Tallahassee. The Catamounts
right now, seeing the graphic there, 5 and 10.
At 10 of 20 overall, Florida State has shot themselves in the foot, if you will. 6 turnovers, and the Catamounts have scored 11 points off of those turnovers. And Western Carolina, Mike, has only turned it over 3 times, so they've taken care of the ball. They've shot it well. They've rebounded well. And they've scored field goals on 7 of the last 10 drives. They're the biggest lead of the night.
Eliminate some of those fouls on the defensive glass. To be almost a perfect half.
Hamilton had to call another timeout. 7.5 to play in the half. Fletcher goes to work off the glass. Second chance. Good work. Osborne with a follow. Offensive rebound of the putback. His second field goal.
Redshirt sophomore, 6.5 rebounds a game in limited time. So good numbers for him.
7 minutes to play in the half. A wide open look. Alderson high arcing triple.
Boy, you know what? They just got to stick guys on. It's been drive and pitch the whole first half, and the Catamounts have done a terrific job at it.
That falls at Osborne's breadbasket. That's rejected. Cork got a hand on that. Walker with a follow. He feeds underneath. And that stick back won't go. But Vassell with a second effort and a left hand.
You got to like the effort, but man, Florida State is having to work really hard for every basket.
And down 12 with 6:20 to go.
Look at the spacing right there for Western Carolina. Great job. And now Alderson is switching sides of the floor.
Faulkner drove, shot it short. Cork got the little flip and laid it in.
I still think that Florida State would live with that rather than the drive and the pitch out for the three.
14-point game. Good crowd in Tallahassee, stunned with this score to this point. And a blocking foul.
It's funny talking to Mark Prosser before the game. This team was 70-25 last year.
He said he had fun.
Yeah, the whole team had fun. And the thing they did, a lot of coaches will come in, they'll see what they have talent-wise, maybe compromise some of their principles until they get their guys in. And he said, we're going to do things our way right now. And we may not be able to play, we may not all be able to play that way, but he wanted to establish something right from the beginning.
And it's interesting, too, in our conversation with him before the game, as we got a pause here, Forrest lost to contact. He's going to get some attention on the Florida State bench. It's really interesting because Mark said he's going to have the courage of his convictions with his staff, with his players, with the school to build this program from the ground up. In this day and age where everybody wants instant results and instant gratification, that's often not the case. So here he is, winning in Tallahassee. He's 2-1 to start this year, as you said, after 7-25 year last year.
And I'll tell you, coming into that situation, the Southern Conference was really good. I mean, Wofford, won the regular season and the tournament. Mike Young did a great job, and that got him the job up at Virginia Tech. But he just, I feel like Mike Young was there since the Truman administration. But you got East Tennessee State. Furman was in the top 25 last year, so a quality league, and things opened up a little bit when Davidson left because they were kind of the big dog in the conference for a long time.
Well, he said when they went to tournament play, he said this group got on the bus, and every single player on the team was going to the tournament with the intention of winning the tournament, not just going and being cannon fodder for 2 periods.
And they're 7-24.
Right. Yeah, right. They have to be awfully excited and confident with the way things have started tonight. 13-point lead. Florida State has missed their last 8 field goals. They're 3 out of 15 in that stretch. A wild shot there and a rebound and then the foul. Cork.
A bad foul in the backcourt by Cork.
And that's his third.
Chip, an important 5 minutes for Western Carolina. They've built this lead. You don't want to see it evaporate at halftime and let Florida State have some momentum going in.
Is that hard for a young team to understand in a situation like this, playing in a hostile place against a team like Florida State?
They played at Georgia, so they've been in a. I'll give you an homage.
Thank you. They play in a big environment.
Yeah. They played a Power 5 conference team already on the road. So, I think that game probably helped them out more than anybody prepared them for this.
Florida State's knocked down a couple of free throws here in the last couple of moments. That trims the lead to 11. Faulkner in transition. And a nice lay-in by Dotson with the left hand. His first bucket of the half.
How about that? Off the free throw, Florida State trying to press. They get it to Faulkner. He gets it up to 4 in about 4 seconds when they score in transition.
Very impressive first half for Western Carolina. 5 minutes to play.
Bodies on the floor.
And Osborne, too many steps. Again, aggressive Catamount defense forced another Florida State turnover.
Terrific energy by the Catamounts.
That's 7 Florida State turnovers here in the half. Now, timeout. think anybody in Tallahassee saw this kind of start, especially after a 63-51 win in Gainesville against the 6th-ranked Gators.
Yeah, well, they've won their last two. They had, they had that loss to start the year, and any time that you have a team that'll play at pace and can shoot the three, they're dangerous. And if they get off to a good start, which the Catamounts did, all of a sudden now that continues to grow.
And I think it would be safe to say, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're hitting threes like Western Carolina is, the size advantage that you talked about the Florida State had, that evaporates, right?
Yeah, because you've got to get guys on the floor that can match up with perimeter players. So you break the other team's will and make them play your style.
So Western Carolina with 5:06 to play, inbounds under their own defensive basket, goes to work.
And you can see Western Carolina 7 assists, 13 field goals. And Florida State only 1 assist in the game to this point on 7 field goals.
That was a problem for them up in Pittsburgh. They made 21 field goals against Pitt and had 6 assists in that game. So Walker commits the foul, his second, and Faulkner, who's had a red-hot first half, will go to the line looking to get the double digits.
This is with Dotson, one of their best players, only has played 8 minutes in this game because of the 2 fouls and 2 points for him.
Faulkner's had a great first half following up the game that he had the triple-double, 5 assists, 8 points, now 10 points as he buries his 3rd free throw of the game. He's averaging, he's coming off a 13-point, 10-rebound, 10-assist game, and Florida State turns it over again. And Leonard Hamilton can't believe it.
Well, this is, maybe that's where that timeout that they burned, for that possession, maybe could have used that in the last 5 minutes of this game, or of this half, I should say, sorry.
So Polite will take a chance with Faulkner. Bigger man. Faulkner gets it across the line with 20 to shoot. Sled to the basket. Ball tipped away. Halverson will watch that trickle out of bounds. Florida State knocked it away. Catamounts ball with 15 on the clock.
Place to inbound the ball. Faulkner did a nice job of coming to receive.
Sled on the pick and roll, lays it in beautifully.
You can see the spacing there. There wasn't anybody in the paint on that play. Everybody lifted outside on the three-point line.
17-point game. And it's Western Carolina that leads it. Long three. This one good. Florida State needed that. Patrick Williams with his first triple. First 3 for Florida State in the game. I'm trying to get back into this game as we're under 4 minutes in the first half. Faulkner needs some help. 8 to shoot. Halverson left wing. Front of the Florida State bench. Should not baseline. Stager wide open look. Good rotation and he sinks it.
Well, they have a great knack for knowing where the guys are, the kick-out guys are, especially with the clock running down.
7 3-point field goals for Western Carolina, and Florida State a 3-point opportunity after the foul. And all over once tonight. And have 3 turnovers so far in the first half. That's a big stat in the early going of this game.
Especially against this team on the road. That really thrives on turning you over and scoring.
Long way to go tonight, but the first half couldn't have gone any better for Western Carolina at this point. Faulkner looks for Sled, who's coming, but no opportunity opportunity there. 14 to shoot. Stager. And lost the handle off his foot. Now Florida State, a rare transition chance. Flores looks for some help.
Look at that. And a great recovery that time. Cut off the break. No white jerseys following the ball.
Olanichuk with an elbow. Will it be Florida State? Yeah, but he commits his second foul.
They're going to talk about it now, or no? The ref, and sometimes he has a smaller player on his back, and sometimes bigs, you get a little over anxious, and he was in great position to catch the ball.
Officials in the crowd saw it differently than our trio here on the floor.
They look at that. I mean, he's just getting frustrated, and it looked like Halverson was trying to fight around him to try to front him a little bit. That left arm out. Good call by the official.
And one of your calls tonight, too, Mark, the bigs for Florida State. Foul trouble here in the first half. Gibson handles the point now, 2:49. Again, it's Polite trying to check in.
Curious to see what Western Carolina offense looks like with Dotson when he comes back in the second half.
Ball on the floor and a whistle. Will this be a Western Carolina foul and turnover? Apparently it will be. Aaron Gibson lost the handle and then commits the foul. That's his second. Seminoles down 14. He'll send Patrick Williams to the line. A chance to trim the lead to 12.
Gibson will be coming out of the game for the last 2:37.
He's got 2 fouls. Carlos Dotson, 2 fouls. Trayvon Gray has a couple of fouls. Xavier Cork, 3 for the Catamounts here in the first half. Nice first half for Williams. 8 points. Gets about 20 minutes a game off the bench. He's got 9. That's team high honors. Fred Forrest has 8. These two have 17 of Florida State's 29 points here in the half. That's a good point, Mike. Big lead. Now it's 12.
Florida State, it's important in the last 2 half minutes, but Florida State has not been able to pressure the ball.
Wow, big time 3, and Faulkner a little too hard. And now Stager commits the foul over the back.
That was close to 10 feet behind the 3-point line. That was almost from the logo.
First the foul. Stager over the back.
Those are the ones you have to just kind of lay off.
Again, for Western Carolina, they don't have the depth that Florida State does, and foul trouble would be a big problem for them if they rack up a few more here in the final 2 minutes.
Actually, Florida State, except for that miss on the one-on-one, shooting pretty well from the free throw line at 10-13. That's actually what's keeping them in this game so far.
So Osborne, 1 out of 2 at the stripe. He's got 5 points in the game. Out of Madison, Illinois. Broke my heart when I talked to him. He's a White Sox fan, not a Cubs fan. He's perfect in this trip to the line.
Well, I'm a Yankees fan, so
that's even worse. 2:17 to go. 41-31. Knowles coming back down 10 now.
Thanks, Bards. You don't like the evil empire?
Last 7 points for Florida State was a 17-point game. Penetration high off the window.
No help there. You let him get to his right hand, and he is going to score 90% of the time.
He's got 12 points. And I bet if Faulkner's dozen points, they've all come in the last 9-10 minutes.
Watch this. This is just beating him off the dribble that side, and they had the spacing, and he just had a free run right to the rim.
So Forrest to go to the line. McRae picks up his 3rd personal foul. So again, for Catamounts, they're big stuff to lock them up here in the final 2-3 minutes of this half. So McRae's going to come out. The one Gibson's back in.
The one constant, and Faulkner was really slow to get into the game. He was trying to get other people involved, and then about the 12-minute mark, he said, all right, I'm going to start scoring a little bit here.
Yeah, he hit a 3, and off we go. So it's still a 10-point game. Noles trying to amp up the defensive pressure here as we're under 2 minutes. And Faulkner threw it away. He's looking for Dotson in the low post, and he never got a hand on the ball. So Western Carolina with a costly turnover, ahead 10. A rare miscommunication, a rare post play, Mike. They haven't had many.
With his 6 assists, I mean, he's accounted for 24 points for Western Carolina in this first half.
So dribble drive and didn't fall. So Florida State trying to get to the basket, looks like, and get even more foul trouble for the Catamounts.
Well, right now, 13 of 16 shipping the game so far, and then, just by nature of how they play, Western Carolina has only taken 6 free throw attempts, but that's, you match that with the threes that they've made.
Florida State knows all about that. They'd had 31 more free throw attempts against them in the ACC opener the other day up in Pittsburgh. So the Noles 14 out of 17 from the free throw line. Vassell with 4 points here in the half. He's got a top-triple rebound. Just went off the back iron, and Dotson calls it in. He's got the 2 points. The Noles have chipped away here.
I was surprised that he's back in the game with the 2 fouls in a minute and 20. You got to have confidence in your player is smart enough to know the situation and play accordingly.
Give and go, picked off by the Noles. Transition and a hammer time. Forrest with the first dunk of the game. He's got a dozen. And what was a 17-point lead is now 7.
I told you about the importance of the finisher, but that's really the first run out that Florida State has got.
All of a sudden, this crowd has gotten into the game. Under a minute to play. Dotson has the 2 points. He puts it on the floor. 6 to shoot. Needs help. Still needs help. Iverson in the baseline. 2 to shoot. Gets it off. It's rejected. Vassell spins. Forrest fakes the 3. Williams takes the 3 and rims out. And Dotson the rebound. Big stop for Western Carolina. And they'll play for the final shot.
Yeah, that was not a good shot selection. You got a run going. You got to try to get something inside. That was an early 3.
4 to shoot. Good look for 3. On their ball. Oh, Faulkner had a good look if he took it to the rim. Instead, they played for the 3 ball, didn't get it. And a tale of, I should say, the final 10 minutes. Huge run for Western Carolina, Mike, to build a 17-point lead. Florida State answers with a 12-2 run of their own.
No, I know, Mark Prosser has got to be extremely happy. Maybe not so much for that last 3 minutes, but to be in this position to have.
43-36, Catamounts the lead. We'll talk Florida State football when we come back here.
They're going to need full 20 minutes from him in the second half.
He's got a scoring 15 points a game for them. He's got 2 at the half and was in foul trouble, as you said. As we mentioned, the 2 guards have led their clubs in scoring, each with 12. Trent Forrest for Florida State. Mason Faulkner for Western Carolina. As the second half gets underway, Western Carolina's got the ball. Same starters begin the second half. Dotson saved a turnover there as he leaped across the half-court stripe.
And they put a bigger cover on Faulkner with Vassell. Try to limit his sight line.
Dotson with a left hand, whirling dervish, and his second half starts just the way the Catamounts hoped it would.
Yeah, see, they really cleared it out. He had a lot of room to work with in the paint, but talk about he plays below the rim. I mean, he's not going to get above the box and, flush anything inside.
Forrest won't go. Florida State comes up with the ball on the baseline. It's a second chance for the Noles, 15 to shoot. Alderson back down, ball on the floor. Here come the Catamounts. Gibson had it back poked. Ball still loose. Dotson hands it off. Stager's got it, and Western Carolina gets a break.
And they've been coming up with a lot of 50-50 balls. You're going to get on the floor, get in possession.
Dotson on the baseline. Frees up space. Got the foul. Osborne in the air. And Malik Osborne picks up his first foul.
And we talked about that, his ability to draw fouls inside, even though he plays below the rim. He's got that wide body and a great pump fake that time. And they've given him, it's clear that they want to get him going offensively because they've given him touches the first 2 or 3 possessions inside.
So for Osborne, his first foul of the second half, second foul overall in the game. And Western Carolina has been outshot at the free throw line 18-6 in attempts. And that one trickles out.
Well, I think that number will go up with Dotson in the game because he's the one who's going to get to the line.
And a lay-in for Florida State. So 46-38, minute and a half into the second half.
Look how Florida State is guarding that perimeter. They're leaving the lane open.
Steger with a drive, lays it in with the right hand. He's got 7 points. He had a 3 ball early in the game.
Now that's going to be there for Western Carolina just because of what I said. Defending the 3-point line, that driving lanes are going to be there.
Walker with his first field goal.
He needed that badly. 0 of 4 up to that point. Had really struggled in the first couple of games shooting the basketball.
It was 3 out of 14 in the first 2 for Florida State. Now up to 3 points in an 8-point game.
Sometimes it's all it takes, Chip, that one shot to get you going.
Wow. Gibson with 11. They are relentless, are they not? 3 after 3 after 3. Gibson's knocked down 3 balls. Halverson's got 3 of them. And an offensive foul on Florida State.
Well, I mean, this is what the game is turning into. What Western Carolina, the way they play, with spread floor, 3-point shooters, maybe one post guy. Pro teams, college teams. There's a look. Just got to get a hand up at least that time. He had a good look at the basket.
Catamounts 3 out of 3 from the field to start the second half. They've built the lead from 7 back up to 11. They led by 17 in the first half.
That's the last thing that Florida State wanted. You had your momentum. Maybe that halftime came at the right time for Western Carolina.
Johnson wants it. And offensive foul. Good defensive movement inside. MJ Walker.
A nice job coming over. And that's a big foul, third for Dotson. He's got to come out of the game.
Well, he's frustrated. He was calling for the ball very early in that sequence and then ran over Walker and is out of the game with 3 fouls.
Then he just took that extra hop, got airborne, and Walker did a nice job of getting his feet under right in the right place.
Forrest all the way to the basket. Another dunk. He's got 14.
There are no rim protectors out there right now. Cork maybe, but if you attack the basket, you're going to have success.
Right through the hands of Cork. Gibson a little too much mustard on that, and Western Carolina turns it over. So 3.5 minutes have gone by here in the second half.
Stepped out of bounds.
Yep. Vassell stepped out of bounds. So the teams trade turnovers.
It was kind of, what Western Carolina has done. They got that little brush screen up top, and Vassell was open. He was trying to space, but he spaced a little too far.
So 12 Florida State turnovers. And Faulkner draws the foul. Vassell was there.
Well, they've thrown a lot of different bodies that Faulkner. They're trying to wear him down, but I don't see any kind of lapse at all. He played the whole first half. And barring any foul trouble or injury, he'll probably be out there for another 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, Faulkner just took a seat.
All right, so here's you're at 16:04. And what Mark Prosser is doing is going to probably give him like 30 seconds rest until we get under the TV timeout, and then he'll be back in the game. But it's, in real time, it's like 3 minutes.
But only 30 seconds in game time, right. So good substitution here. Stager got to the baseline, and he took too many steps. So there's the timeout, 15:45. Trent Forrest, 14 points. Couple of 1,000 gallons of water before their trip to Pittsburgh to play Pitt. The leak took place at 2 o'clock in the morning. They had the bucket brigade, and it has been somewhat chaotic for the living conditions for the whole since.
Well, it's like a Revenge of the Nerds thing, where they're like sleeping here, like cots here. And
Why'd you look at me when you said nerds? I'm not too sure I like that, but I get your point. So Xavier Cork just committed another foul. And that is his fourth.
Oh, you got Cork in foul trouble. You got Dotson in foul trouble. They're running out of bigs.
But they're not running out of three-point shooters, and that might be the problem for Florida State at this point. As Forrest has 15 points now. He's made his fourth free throw, 15 and a half minutes to play. Still an 8-point game for Western Carolina. So Forrest, the senior guard out of Chickley, Florida, back after a horrible toe injury that he played through last year. He's looked very good tonight.
Say Faulkner back in the ball game right now, and he'll be there the rest of the way.
Second chance. And ball stolen back away. And a foul on Florida State. Sled, extra effort. Second and third effort comes up with not one but two loose balls, and Florida State with a foul.
Well, that looked like it was a turnover just waiting to happen, and Sled did a nice job of forcing the foul.
So Polite and Williams back in for Florida State.
Well, let's just see, that war of attrition usually starts to show up at about the 10-minute mark, and a bad foul right there by Forrest going for the steal.
That's his second. And that's the 15th foul against Florida State here in the first 4 minutes and a half.
Yeah, they get a couple more, and it's going to turn into a free throw shooting contest. Believe it or not, in Western Carolina on the year early, only 62% from the free throw line.
Well, it's too close.
Which is odd for, a team that shoots as well as this one does.
Faulkner created space with the left hand. Well, he does an excellent job of creating openings for himself.
He just ran right up Osborne's back. Osborne never got turned around, didn't even know he was there.
Osborne and Sled doing battle in the low post. Now Osborne sets a high screen. Williams, open man. Bang. Polite nails it. His first points of the game, a 3-ball. Only his third field goal of the season for Florida State, but that's a big one. McRae, and that ball pinned under the rim. And possession arrow goes to Florida State on the jump ball. So 53-47, 6-point game.
Pretty nice job defensively that time, getting the block.
What was a 17-point lead for Western Carolina, now 6. Off the back iron. Cassell's jump shot wouldn't go. Now McRae handles left wing. 14 minutes to play. penetrates. Contact. And he'll go to the line. He got slapped hard.
And he's cramping up a little bit. Yeah, he's his calves are definitely cramping up a little bit. And they gave him the whole left side of the floor to work off the dribble. Yep,
Six assists, 5 of 10 from the field, and now 2 calf cramps for Mason Faulkner coming off a triple-double game.
And Old Cross, we tell him just rub some dirt on it. Yeah. Keep playing.
So 15 for Faulkner. 22 is his career high. That came against Gardner-Webb. Transfer out of Northern Kentucky. Boy, he's been as good as advertised tonight.
But you know what? And again, that cramps are a sign of the war of attrition and wearing you down, and when it's going to show up. And once you get to that point, it's awfully hard to get enough fluid back into you to he's really going to have to pound it down during timeouts, get as much Gatorade in him as he can.
A couple of free throws makes it an 8-point game. Faulkner also 3 rebounds. Western Carolina 7 out of 10 at the line. Florida State 16 for 20 in free throws. Walker with a runner, won't go, and Halverson the rebound.
See, and they've done a nice job of hiding Faulkner a little bit defensively because they've got him on Polite, not a big time scorer, so he can rest a little bit on that end of the floor.
Tyler Harris, freshman out of Charlotte. Now Faulkner up top, gets a screen, 13 to shoot. Faulkner dribble drive, and it's tipped away by Florida State.
Florida State didn't even worry about Sled on that pick and roll. The 2 guys stayed with Faulkner the whole way, and now they're bringing. You've got to, for a pick and roll to work, you got to have 2 guys that can score the ball, and that you have to respect.
With that in mind, they brought in Dotson, and Sled has a seat.
Yeah, I imagine that's Dotson will be that guy, or Halverson with the screen that time, and a good challenge.
Wow, wild double clutch shot from McCray. It missed badly off the window, and we're under 13 minutes. Western Carolina's survived the first haymaker from Florida State here in the second half. They lead by 8. 8 to shoot. Polite lets her rip, and it rims out. Osborne on a second chance. 20-second shot clock reset. Follow try. No, won't go. Harris comes away with a big rebound.
And Dotson really just had to stand there with his hands up. He couldn't, he missed the initial rebound, and then it was volleyball after that, and Florida State didn't convert.
Now Dotson under the iron. It's rejected. He has had a frustrating game. 3-ball. Walker hits it.
I tell you about that one shot will set you free, and that wasn't necessarily a great shot, for a guy who had not been seeing a big basket, but I think he's off and running now.
From a 17-point deficit to a 5-point deficit for Florida State now. McRae with a left hand. Boy, they've gotten some looks at the window, Mike.
Leonard Hamilton driving him off the three-point line, and all of a sudden now Florida State playing Catamount basketball with a couple of threes in the last 3 possessions.
Florida State 3 threes in the half. Western Carolina has 1, and the lead is 4. And a big bucket for Cameron Gibson. They needed that. That'll stop the bleeding for a moment. 13 points for him. 11 minutes to play.
Faulkner out of the game. Other guys have to step up right now. They're just, again, trying to use that timeout to try to get some fluid in him, and he'll get the TV timeout right now.
Vassell with an air ball turns it over to Western Carolina. They have a 6-point lead, and they will have the ball when we come back. Jay Walker, 8.
And Hamilton doesn't turn up the heat defensively up the floor. You know, try to, again, you got a guy who's cramping, who's been single-handedly breaking down your pressure. Now is the time where that, you know, really comes to the fore.
Florida State has won 18 consecutive home debut games. They're 49-3 in their last 52 at home overall. And a turnover forced here at the 10:52 mark. So Florida State down 6, gets a freebie here.
And that was Gibson. I don't know what, you know, he shuffled it. It was a good call, but just an unforced error.
So Walker up top, Halverson guards him. Forrest against Faulkner, our featured matchup. Petrivica with an offensive foul. Dotson draws that.
See, they're trying to go at him to get that 4th foul, and, you know, but not a great offensive player right now.
So that's his 3rd foul. So they trade turnovers. I haven't seen an awful lot of trap pressure from Florida State, but now it comes, and when they have tried it, Western Carolina might beat it pretty easily in the first half.
I think it's more just wanting to get the ball out of Faulkner's hands.
Dotson left his feet. Ball tipped twice. Gibson long 3, too long. And Forrest brings it back, approaching 10 minutes. He goes to the basket. It's short. Petrivica lays it in.
Nice. He is long and just playing right over the top. But again, Dotson's a little limited. Can't be as aggressive. Probably he's got to get to the 5-minute mark before he can start playing like he'd want to.
So we got a 4-point game now. It was a 17-point lead in the first half for the Catamounts. Halverson penetrates. Look at that 5th foul. Needs some help.
And look at him cover out on the 3-point shooter.
Dotson gives it up. Halverson with 2 on the clock off the side of the rim. Second chance and a lay-in. What a play by Stager.
Right now, that should be waved off. That did not hit the rim before the clock expired. It was at 0. A good 2 seconds before he made that shot.
So take away the basket, we believe, on a shot clock violation. Florida State's going to have the ball down 4.
Here's a look. I mean, that was a good kick out, but this hits the side of the rim. You see 2 seconds right there, and the clock it's 0 right now. And that's, you know, that's you couldn't see the clock in that shot. Yeah, 0 and that look, I don't know. You know, in real time, it didn't look like he got it off.
And that is the call, so no basket.
That second shot, kind of, is it 1-0? It's still in his hand. Yeah, still in his hand. Good call. It was a lot closer than I thought it was.
You bet. So down 4, Florida State takes over, 9.5 to play. Western Carolina led this game 41-24 with 3:41 to play in the first half.
That's the other thing, too, Chip. These threes become a lot harder in the last 10 minutes of the second half on the road.
You know, legs are tired.
Yep.
You're facing Faulkner. You got the cramps.
4-point game. You know, it's not as fast as easy as it was in the first half. See, and again, they have the arrow. And this is the time where I don't like that timeout. Even if you don't have the arrow, because this timeout is more important in the last 2 minutes than it is right now.
Well, Stager did come up with a steal. He had the possession arrow, didn't realize it, called timeout. We'll see if that costs Western Carolina in what's now a 4-point game.
4 points. Their lowest point total since 1945.
That's a rough night.
They can make you look bad. And they lost. That team lost a lot of talent. First of all, I can't think of any other story than losing to UMBC in 116 the year before and then coming back the next year and winning the national championship.
What an amazing story. Stager got his man in the air, keeps possession, 13 to shoot. Halverson dribble drive and won't go. Dotson on the offensive glass, left-hand shot won't go. And Williams comes away with a loose ball. Here comes Forrest.
Chip, one in Western Carolina, 1 of 4 in the second half from 3.
And there's some of that attrition you were talking about. Dobrovica with a lay-in, his second field goal. We got a one-possession game after a 17-point Western Carolina lead. Faulkner's shot won't go. Dotson was there, and Florida State tipped it out of bounds.
Yeah. A nice job by Dotson anticipating that, getting inside. And here's again, they can just play pretty well. I mean, he's come in and given them a nice little boost in the last 4 minutes of this game.
It really has been a story of 5-minute bursts for the Seminoles. 5 minutes in the first half, that 12-2 run. Now a nice burst here as Dotson puts it on the floor. Comes up with a loose ball. And he has a jump ball, and Western Carolina keeps possession.
With Dobrovica, he's trying to take him off the dribble. You know, he's obviously giving away some size, but trying to use his bulk.
Dobrovica, 7-1 out of Serbia.
I don't know if in my covering the league that there's ever been a team that Leonard Hamilton hasn't had at least 1 7-footer, if not 2.
Good look. Back iron three won't go. Dotson couldn't get the offensive rebound. Seminoles can take the lead with a 3-ball here. They'll take it. Back iron. Dotson rebound.
No ball movement. 1 pass early in the shot clock. I don't think it's a good shot.
Well, scoring drought for the Catamounts here. They've missed their last 6 shots. And a foul as Faulkner, he's really hurting. You can see those legs cramping up. And he grimaces as he'll get a chance to go to the line after a Florida State foul. Catamounts lead. They are up 2 with 7:44 to play. Nebraska. Like the last time these two teams faced each other, December 8th, 2001, Western Carolina won 79-69 here in Tallahassee, and Florida State, getting a huge game from Trent Forrest again, sees him in foul trouble.
Well, you've got Forrest with 4 fouls and Faulkner with 2 cramps. So,
right,
you know, it's both teams are affected in different ways, and I'd be interested to see how long that Leonard Hamilton can go with life without Trent Forrest out on the floor. I would imagine it would probably be under 5. We try to get it under 5 minutes as long as that the team is scoring.
Faulkner's made all of his free throws. Western Carolina hasn't had many chances, although that differential's creeping a little closer. 20-12 in attempts in favor of Florida State. And Halverson comes away with a rebound. One thing Florida State's done is they've stopped the 3-point ball from Western Carolina here in the second half. The Catamounts have just 1 3 in the second period. 105. A blistering first half. Dotson muscles with the left hand.
So he's going to get one-on-one opportunities because Florida State has to stay at home with the 3-point shooters. So they've got nobody really they can come and double team with.
Walker, bang, boy, he's come alive. 3 threes in the half for Walker. And a 3-point game. He's got a dozen for the Seminoles. A little pressure. As we're under 7 minutes.
Yeah, let some other guys bring the ball up the floor and take some pressure off of Faulkner and, not having to handle the basketball that much.
Oh, Stager with a errant dribble. Walker picks it up. Vassell wide open on the end. Catamounts are going to take a timeout. Looks like 6.5 to play, and
he waved it off. Foster was thinking about it, but I think he's going to go one more possession.
Halverson's 3 won't go. Faulkner picks it up. Good look on the second chance. He hits the 3-ball. He's got 20. What a huge swing. 21 points, I beg your pardon, for Faulkner.
Stager, I love the way you talk about the 50-50 balls again, especially those long threes. Guys laying it out on the floor. You get another open look, and Faulkner even. You know how hard that shot is with you're cramping in your calf and then having to knock down a 3. But there's the no weak side help. Vassell wide open. Look at this. Just everybody down on the floor, and it's like playing horse out there.
Stager, great second effort to poke that ball to Faulkner, who didn't miss the wide open look. His second 3-ball of the game. 6 out of 12 is he from the floor. He's made all of his free throws. 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Another great night.
Well, now let's see how Florida State responds, because that was a pretty nice response by Western Carolina with the lead shrinking.
Faulkner is leaving it all out on the floor in this game. He's had a huge night. 4-point game for Western Carolina. Gibson with a reach in. That'll be his 3rd foul. And only the 3rd team foul for the Catamounts as we're under 6 minutes to play. Walker got his man in the air and turns, finally missed one. And it's off Florida State. Dotson was there battling with Popovica, and Florida State can't come up. 5:49 to play. Catamounts ball.
Raekwon Gray, he's coming out of the game. He's dealing with cramps as well. That was a shot that, for Walker, finally he's got let out of jail, and he feels like he can, maybe not the worst shot in the world.
So Gray cramping up, it looks like, at the end of the Seminole bench. He's attended to as Faulkner goes to work. Highlight tries to check in, and Popovica rejects that.
He's given them a nice lift in 10 minutes in this game. Having him in over Dotson, and it's a big body inside. It's something that a tall body, something that the Catamounts don't have.
He's getting some more playing time. Olenichuk has had some calf problems, and Leonard Hamilton said he's about 75%. He can give him 5-6 minutes, something like that in the game, and that's been about what he's provided. As Polite's going to come out, Forrest is going to come back in. Big story for Forrest, playing with 4 fouls.
I want to see who he guards. You got to at least take a shot early at him, and he's going to be on Gibson.
So Stager tries to beat Vassell. Got his man in the air. Good work. And Vassell guilty of his second foul. Boy, Stager's had an aggressive, interesting 2 halves of basketball in this game. 7 points, including a 3-ball, and he'll get to go to the line. There's been just once before this sequence. And as he makes the first, we'll enjoy a quick word from Works Trivac. So Western Carolina, Mike, they bend, but they haven't broken yet. Florida State's had a couple of chances to take the lead in the second half. They're down 6.
We always talk about that psychological barrier of being down big and then battling back. And, that's a good answer right there. It's a long 2, which is what you want to force.
13 of Walker's 14 have come in this half. Boy, he got going with that one jump shot.
But it seems like, they've had that kind of 4-point Heisman out there on him, that they've had that answer. And it's a big defensive possession for Florida State.
Alderson feeds Dotson. Popovica guards him. Dotson left hand finds a wide open Stager. He shoots a 3 and missed it. Popovica with a rebound. Florida State down 4 in the ball.
Yeah, one thing, I mean, there's not much offensive rebounding at all for the Catamounts. I mean, that time Dotson was in there, but they're sending 4 people back to stop the break.
Long three and a foul. Gibson commits the foul. And Florida State gets a huge break.
And that's his 4th.
Western Carolina,
So Gibson with 4, McCray with 3, Cork with 4 fouls.
See, look, I mean, from that distance, why? Yeah, just get a hand up. And, and Walker you bail him out. To this point, the one thing he did, he's a 90% free throw shooter coming in. So this is almost like an automatic 3.
So 15 points for Walker, 3 out of 6 in threes. Gets 2 out of 3. So a 2-point game. Well, time and time again, Mike, Western Carolina's been in this spot. They've come up with some big plays to extend the lead. We'll see if they can do it with 4 minutes left. Alverson put it on the floor, turns it over, 2-on-1 break. Walker to the cell, and we're tied.
Vassell has been the one, and somebody went down in the cameras. Can't tell who it is.
He was calling for the lob and wanted to dunk it, looked like, and laid it up and in, and then tumbled into the camera position to the right of the basket down by the Florida State bench. So he is still being attended to as we're under 4 minutes. Florida State has come back to 10.
And here's the look, and you can see right after the pass, right there, where it's on his right leg, just kind of bends back a little bit. He's on the bike trying to go. Now he's going back to the locker room, and in this game, Vassell has been the one who's made the plays that have gotten the crowd into the game. He's the one who's made the dunks, gotten the lobs, made the big plays. And again, we've talked about how the Catamounts have had an answer. It's a big offensive possession for them.
Losing Walker for any stretch of time is a big loss for Florida State. He's been their hot hand in the half. 13 of his 14, make it 15 of his points here in the second half. And Dotson gets loose. One of the rare times he's had an easy bucket.
And you gotta like it when, as a coach, you draw up a play in the halftime. I always look to see the execution coming out of a timeout. How a team scores, and that play was run to perfection.
So Western Carolina back in front, 70-68. 3 minutes to play in this game. Nice pass for us to Williams. Hammer time, ties it up.
He just got behind the defense that time. Nice finish, better pass.
First basket for Williams in the second half after 9 in the first 20 minutes. 70-70. High off the window. Nice runner by Gibson.
That's the difference between Dotson running a pick and roll up top as opposed to anybody else, because they had to honor him somewhat.
He's got fresh legs. Does Cameron Gibson, 15 points. Williams, and the foul. And that's Faulkner. That'll be his first. Count the basket. It is Faulkner's first foul, and Florida State could take the lead.
Big size advantage inside. Patrick Williams, strong finish.
The last time Florida State led in this game, the score was 11-10.
Yeah, that's the big psychological point right there. Just getting the lead, even if it's only 1 point.
So Faulkner handles the point. 2.5 to go. He'll fire a three. It rims out. Florida State can extend their lead. Long three won't go. So one-shot possession for Florida State and virtually no time off the clock. 2 minutes to play.
That was another quick three.
Oh, Faulkner wide open at the free throw line. Got 2 men in the air. Dotson rejected. Saved by Osborne. A tomahawk rejection. And Dotson heads back.
One time he had 3 players. He never saw Osborne coming from behind.
6 Florida State blocks in this game. Now Forrest over Faulkner. Errant shot. And Steger with a rebound. Boy, this has been a great game. Who's going to deliver the knockout blow? We've got 1:20 to find out. Six to shoot for Gibson. Shakes and bakes. Takes. Double clutch. Dotson with 2 on the clock. The putback. Big shot.
Penetration just broke down everything inside, and Dotson just did a great job of anticipating that shot, getting inside position.
Well, one of your questions, Mike, would Dotson be able to come back and have an impactful second half? 9 of his 11 points and no 2 points bigger than these.
Here's, look, it wasn't even really a screen by him, but it was enough to get him inside position. He's the only one on the glass. There are 3 white jerseys around him.
So he's 5 out of 10 from the floor, 11 points for Carlos Dotson, who had a huge game against the Georgia Bulldogs. Again, talked to Tom Crean about his performance. He said, that's a big man, tough to defend. And he had a double-double against the Dogs in Athens. You know that Mark Prosser would love similar kind of production from him in the final minute of this game. He's a big man and a big presence. Let's see if Western Carolina can pull off an upset for the ages tonight in Tallahassee.
I'll tell you that they were good. Walker coming back in with those 4 fouls, but it's 55 seconds. It's winning time right now. But Western Carolina picked to finish middle of Southern Conference, but very impressed with this game tonight, regardless of the outcome.
So we're under a minute to go. Forrest, off-balance runner, and the putback. Williams cleans that up. Florida State back in front by a point. Now the crowd stands as one.
And they'll get the last. This is one of those things that you going the 2-for-1 route that they're doing the NBA so much, but because of the length of the shot clock, it's a little bit harder. But
well, Forrest took the wild shot, but got some help from Williams on the backside of the play to clean up the errant miss.
Sometimes Dotson was in there on an island inside. Sometimes the shots missed so badly it works in your favor.
The old "it's so bad it's good" play. So what does Western Carolina draw up here with 22 on the clock, 41 on the game clock?
Well, I would imagine that if you're Florida State, you're gonna if it's a 1-point game, so you can't just give up 2. I would imagine there'd be some sort of 2-man game, involving Dotson and probably Faulkner, and then you space out your shooters in the corners to see if you get a good look at a 3. You don't need a 3, but again, a 3 with 41 seconds to go in a 1-point game is a lot more difficult than the first half.
Well, you said it in the opening commentary tonight. For Western Carolina to be in this game, they got to shoot 50% from 3-point range. They did in the first half, 7 out of 14. Second half, not so much luck.
Yeah, 2 of 9, and that became a focus for Florida State to get out and drive them off the 3-point line.
So Halverson will inbound. He's hit 3 threes. All of those came in the first half. Let's see if he's option A after the inbound here. So Faulkner will handle. Crowd chanting defense for Florida State. They're up a point. Faulkner versus Vassell. Dotson wants it. High post. He'll dribble drive baseline. He's smothered. Rebound Florida State. Osborne got poked in the face as he came away with a loose ball. And Steger commits the foul.
Yeah, they defended that two-man game pretty well and really did a nice job. Osborne keeping his hands up that time, not bringing it down.
So 21 seconds left in the game.
Still, but they have to foul quickly. One more, and they're in. They put him in the bonus.
Osborne.
They gotta get to
Williams. And finally they do with 16.7 left.
Yeah, there's 5 seconds off the shot clock.
So fourth foul on Steger. Williams is going to go to the line, trying to extend a 1-point Florida State lead at 75-74.
Williams, 2's perfect on the year, 7 of 7. But put all those stats out the window with 16.7 left.
So Williams 5 for 5 at the line tonight. And has 14 points. And a 2-point Florida State game. First, a quick word from Works Trivac.
The Works Trivac 3-in-1 Easy Switch from blow to vac is a game changer and a time saver. Your yard work champion.
So Florida State with a 77-74 lead. Western Carolina still very much in this game with their three-point shooting prowess. And Florida State trying to continue this impressive run of success against non-conference foes. Their last non-conference loss here in Tallahassee almost 5 years ago to the day.
Well, the interesting thing is that age-old question of when do you foul, or do you foul?
Yep.
You know, a lot of coaches will say under 5 seconds if that's their philosophy. One, you know they're going to be guarding, but if Florida State chooses a foul, it puts them in the double bonus. So, Western Carolina will get 2 free throws, not a one-on-one situation.
Well, we talked about it before the game as well. 2 young teams, a lot of new faces, a lot of exciting players. The guard play was as good as advertised. Western Carolina under Mark Prosser is coming to Tallahassee and has given the Seminoles everything and more that they could have possibly wanted in this game. At one point leading by 17 points. Florida State with a big second half erased a 7-point deficit to now lead by 3. And it was M.J. Walker with 13 make it 15 second half points that really sparked things for the Seminoles. 3 big threes in a row after a very, very tough first shooting half for M.J. Walker.
I'd be curious. I mean, it's it's 16.7. Can you run it up the floor and get a quick 2 and still play the foul game?
So Western Carolina hasn't made a 3-point shot in about 6 minutes. They could use one now, but we'll see how they play it. Inbound to Faulkner, and Florida State backs off. Vassell guards him. Faulkner, 21 points in the game, 1 shy of his career high. A lot of time clicking away. He'll fire, toe on the line, it popped out. 3 seconds left, Walker the rebound. And look at Faulkner in disbelief.
They can't believe it. That was James Harden driving him down, stepping him back, and he's just heartbroken right now. Great step back. I don't know if his toe was on the line, though. I think that would have been a 2.
Well, they've had 4 or 5 shots rim out in the second half, and Faulkner could have made it a 1-point game. And now Florida State with 2.9 left can put this one away at the free throw line as Walker, fortunate to survive what looked to be a nasty knee problem, will be the man that tries to ice it. This will be the largest come-from-behind win for the Seminoles since last February. They beat Clemson after trailing them in overtime 2018. They were down 18 to the Tigers and beat them. They're down 17 to the Catamounts tonight.
Do you miss this one on purpose, or do you take the points?
There's your answer.
Yeah, you take the points in the game. We give Western Carolina all the props. That was a terrific effort by them. And this is one of those good news situations for Leonard Hamilton. You get a win, and then you also get to have a pretty good film session with your team.
And get ready for Chattanooga here next Wednesday. Seminoles will open their next ACC game against Clemson in December, and they survive at home 79-74. The non-conference home winning streak continues for Leonard Hamilton and the Seminoles. But Mike, I don't think they thought this one was going to be this tough to accomplish.
No, and especially at home, maybe a little bit of an emotional letdown after that win against Florida. But like I said, it was a battle, and this is going to be something that they're going to have to learn from and find that consistency. But they've got to stretch at home to get some people healthy and get that confidence.
And for Mark Crosser, the Catamounts, boy, what a lot to be proud of. They gave the Noles a great game in Tallahassee tonight. Mike really enjoyed it. Hope to do it again sometime. Noles win at home by 5, 79-74 your final.